clean everything up, and that way when you get ready to start your engine, you'll know what kind of soot and dust and rust in there, and if it don't start, you will know why. If you've took it apart and put it back together, you'll know your engine. Now, if y'all, I don't know if y'all can see this. Doing it like this right here is a little bit out of frame, maybe. But to get that brass thing out there, you I'm trying, if it was just me, I would have just knocked her out of there. Trying to get it on camera. If you will indulge me just a minute and let me find a different tool. This one right here is the one we need. It's kind of rounded on the end, and now some of these parts, some of these procedures, you're going to ruin some parts. So if it's a part that's going to get ruined, you know, the sooner you ruin it, the sooner you can get a replacement in there. Okay, it was just a matter of getting that thing up there where that I could get a pretty decent hit on it, and once it moved a little bit, I could get the pliers on it. Now this thing right here, it has a little slot right in there, a little gap. That's a drain back for the. When I knocked that out of there, I put this right there. So that would mean that this was, that little groove was coming straight forward here. When I knocked that out, it was turned upside down like so. When I knocked that out, so I'll open that up with a hacksaw blade, dress that up with a file, and put it back in there. There it is, a world's smallest hole right in there, and you do not want to open that up any bigger than what it is. You just want to make it to be clear. Now I'm going to go grind this pin off. Now what I did is I took it over yonder on the other bench, and I used this hand grinder with a hard back grinder, and I put that right in yonder and ground off the top of that ever so lightly just to get down to the metal. And I ground that off so that big old mushroom part wouldn't be to work with. Now while I was grinding on that, I discovered down in yonder that this thing is cracked. A lot of them will be. It's where that when they mushroomed that pin, they mushroomed it too much. So it's just one of those things. I think I do have one in there that's not cracked, but most of them, that part is cracked. It's just over jealous on the operator's part. Once you get that free, then you drive the pin out. And it is a taper pin. Now this one will be too short to reuse, but you see how the top of it up there, how much the big part is mushroomed. That's how hard they drove that pin in there, and that's not necessary. And then when this pin is split on this side and you spread that apart, well, they just did it too much. So we will replace that, and possibly the this gear here too. Okay, now we can see it. Matter of fact, both sides is cracked on this, and that's not good. I think we will definitely replace this part. If you can see it on camera, see that line over there with where that hole is and this line where this hole is, it's cracked open. So they did abuse that when they put that pin in there. Other than that, it's don't show anywhere. But I will replace this, as I do have another one. And this air tube that came with it looks better than the other one. Now they did make these caps out of plastic. And that's another thing too, if I might interject right here, there's absolutely no reason to pay more than $50 for one of these old junk engines. Y'all are just, I say you all are driving the prices up on these engines. They're just, these engines, it's no reason to pay $300 for a Maytag. It's absolutely, it's bordering on being insane. Y'all need to get the prices back down where they should be on these Maytags. I don't think Mr. Maytag even. Now that bolt was loose right there. The cylinder bolt, all of them are just, all of those was loose. I'll tell you, while I got a little bit of, now somebody's had that off before there and chiseled the corners off. So I'm going to try the same thing just once. Let's see if I can find a chisel. If not, I'll go about this a different way. Now that was pretty tight. Now all of those are rounded off, so to get a wrench on there, even that, they've had a pipe wrench on there. Do y'all see those marks across through there? They've had a pipe wrench on there, so I don't see why I shouldn't do it too. I may have to get the pipe wrench on that. I think what I'll do is carry on and get it all apart down to that part. This is the other cylinder, and these bolts are loose. Now these bolts right here had a aluminum washer. These had a aluminum sealing washer. And all of these are the same, except engine. No, I'm not going to confuse you. Well, I probably should clear that up. These are all the same except